Joining us this week on Socratic Spotlight is Amir, a 10th grader at the Socratic Experience. He is an aspiring computer engineer and he has a wide variety of other interests: guitar, entrepreneurship, finance. We're going to talk to Amir about his time at the Socratic Experience. Amir, why don't you tell me a little bit about how did you come to the Socratic Experience? What have you done for school in the past? And how is the Socratic Experience different from those other school experiences?
I did not really have a lot of public school experience. I think I went up to about second grade. I remember I did not enjoy it. I would always come home just stressed and so much homework to do. And now that I think about it, it's surprising because that's second grade, it should be easy, fun. After that, I was homeschooled for a huge chunk of my life, 5 or 6 years, I would say. And then I found a non-traditional school, and I really enjoyed that. I went to that for about 3 years, until COVID hit, and things started to go a little rubbish in that school. So then I went to homeschool for about another year, and then eventually we found TSE. My past experiences with online school were not really that good. I didn't like it much, and I was a little skeptical when my mom brought up the idea of, hey, you want to try this online school out? At first, I was like, no, I don't want to do online school. I want to go in person. Just doesn't seem right to me. But I gave it a try, and it was I was just like, what is this? This is so new to me. I've come to enjoy the Socratic experience so much now because I really feel that I'm learning so much more than my past schools, and I'm learning it in a way that I can enjoy, a way that it's interactive. This whole Socratic method, it's really amazing, and I have to give props to my teachers for being able to cultivate this.
So, how do you feel like the Socratic Experience cultivates your interests, your passions? Do you feel like it's individualized, that it really supports you on your path?
We have our mentorship program, and I feel like talking with a guide, bi-weekly, I think that's just so helpful because we can actually talk about what I want to do, what's going on with me, how I can be assisted. And I think all of this just eventually leads into cultivating my dream or whatever, my interests. And then, in class two, I think the Socratic method is actually just teaching young kids like me how to actually become adults and work as a team. A lot of jobs nowadays require teamwork, especially me. I want to be a computer engineer, and the big companies who are developing computer parts aren't just doing it with one person. It's a whole team, it's a whole bunch of people. So I think having that sense of teamwork and collaboration is is really important for adulthood.
I know you said that in the beginning you weren't very open to the idea of an online program. Do you feel like there's enough socialization? This is a question that I get often from parents, that they're concerned that the online environment doesn't provide enough socialization. Or do you feel like the interactive nature of the program provides you with a pretty good sense of community?
I think just being in class provides me a good sense of community. Before a class starts, we have a community class, which is, I think, very enjoyable because you just get to talk to your peers and engage on something, but not something that's class, and that's not really meant for class. So I think community is a big part of engaging with others. We're just able to, find a liking for each other and build on that. I really think there's a good community in TSC, and there's a lot of friends to make, a lot of people to meet, really smart people. I've met some very, very smart classmates that I'm just amazed with. Like, I want to be these people's friends. They just amazing. Even though we're online, I still think that there are a lot of friendships to be made.
Which classes are you taking this year, and which you don't have to tell me your favorite ones or your favorite guides, but maybe give me some highlights.
Through STEM, I'm taking creative entrepreneurship and finance. For humanities, I'm taking PPE, which is philosophy, politics, and economics. For electives, I'm taking personal finance and I'm taking intro to starting a business. Now I can just real quick some quick highlights of all those. STEM, I really enjoy. I think it's very cool how we have two different STEM classes, one that's just related to strictly mathematics and one that's related to, something else. When I read the title, I didn't think, I was like, how is this kind of STEM? But now that I joined it, I really see. So I think, a highlight from my creative entrepreneurship and finance class is creating a project about selling a product. Now, I think that even if you don't plan to sell a product, I think having a skill of selling something is amazing because I hear a lot of entrepreneurs themselves say, if you can sell something, you can become a millionaire, right? So I think just having that mentality from knowing how to sell something if you don't plan to is amazing. So that's a highlight I have from my creative entrepreneurship finance class. I would definitely say my PPP class is challenging, but in a good way. Right now we're studying economics. And before this, I really had no idea what economics is. I just thought, okay, it's related to money. That was just my whole ideology. Eventually, after reading some very difficult texts and collaborating with my peers to solve this and find a definition for ourselves, we're still pursuing a journey on what economics is. And I like how my guide has explained how learning this can be beneficial and how learning this is almost important. I don't think they even teach economics like this. A highlight from my PPE class is just being able to decipher hard text and come up with a definition of what economics is. Okay, I've only done one class on my personal finance and my introduction to business. I took them both last year, but I guess just a general highlight is how in depth my guides go into this particular subject, how fun they make it. I really love the slideshows they make and the ideas they come up with to teach us. And I'm like, how do they do this every week? This is really, really impressive, It's not about trying to challenge you in a very, very hard way where, if you don't do it right, you just get punished. But I like how these elective classes are really fun and they live up to the name elective. Personal finance, I've learned about taxes, I've learned about debt, I've learned about credit cards, I've learned about money formulas to calculate these crazy, like calculate how much money you owe on a house or calculate how much money you need to retire. I'm like, what? I was even amazed, like, where else would I learn this? Because it's really impressive what I've learned from my personal finance class. Now I'm saying this because I also took it last year, but I'm expecting we're going to learn a lot more this year too. Finally, my introduction to business. My highlight is just how because this class, I mean, it's filled with a lot of younger students. So I think my guide recognizes that and he tries to make it very, very fun for them, but also, interactive for older students at the same time. So it's not just, so easy and you're just sitting around. So I like my guide's ideas on how do you start a business? How do you bring customers to your business? How do you make yourself different? Also, how do you sell something? How do you avoid bad employees? And how do you keep your good employees? And I think these are all just very, very good things to keep in mind. Even if you do not start a business or even if you do not engage in a lot of finances, I just think these are amazing to learn and just keep them in the back of your mind. So yeah, those are all my highlights for my classes.
Yeah, these are really practical points. I don't really think that I'm 30 now, and I don't really think that I started thinking about how much money will I need to save for retirement really until like a couple of years ago, because I went through the public school system and they just don't talk to you about things like that. Same with business. They just don't emphasize points like that. I remember when you joined the Socratic Experience and you were, of course, in middle school. How has the experience changed a little bit transitioning from middle school to high school? Are you starting to talk to your mentor about college? And how helpful do you think your mentor has been, just, as you move through high school and thinking in terms of what you're going to do after high school?
In terms of mentorship, I definitely talked with my mentor last year about college. I love the info he gave me about college because I was worried. I was like, am I gonna make it into college? Am I gonna have good grades? I don't know what to do. But he definitely said all that for me and gave me some things to know and some things to do over the years. Our math tutors are some of the most intelligent people I've ever met. I've had problems in math where I've just been so stuck. But my math tutors are patient with me and they get me through the question and they teach me ways to answer questions like these so I don't have to get stuck on it anymore. They really are amazing. They are just some very smart people.